Hello, everyone. I was born and raised in Southern California. 38 years of my life, I lived in Southern California, and I came out here to Utah about a year ago, and I don't like it. I don't like it. So I'm going to give you 10 reasons why you should not move to Utah. Let's go. Number one, the pollution. This is kind of one of the most ironic, I guess you would say, is because before you come to Utah, you hear a lot of propaganda from whoever, I don't know, people from Utah or whoever, claiming, oh yeah, Utah is such this beautiful state, clean air, and all this. It is not true. Soon as you come up, the 15 freeway, say from California or Nevada into Utah, I mean, you just see the pollution just caked onto the mountains. And I thought, okay, well, this is going to end eventually, but no, it keeps going and going all the way up into Salt Lake, to the middle of the state, towards the top of the state. It's just pollution all through the state. The worst parts are around Salt Lake City because that's where the most people are at, and it gets trapped on the mountains and all this kind of stuff. But it's just horrendous, horrendous pollution in the state of Utah. And if it's not just from the cars, from all the people driving around, it's also from wildfires in nearby states such as Oregon and California. It all gets bunched up onto the mountains and creates just absolutely horrible air quality in the state. And it's not like just 1 or 2 days. I mean, it's like a very consistent thing. So yeah, the pollution. It's not clean and clear air and all this kind of stuff that you hear. It's fake propaganda. Number two, the wages. So they're like 20 years behind most other states, but particularly, say, California or whatever states. The minimum wage here, for example, is like how California was 20 years ago. And you would think, okay, yeah, but the prices are way less too, right? No. If the prices were like how they were, say, in California 20 years ago, then it makes sense. But the prices are all modern price. Matter of fact, that's actually number another one on my list. I talk about the high prices, but they kind of go hand in hand, wages and prices. Um, Relative to how much things cost and how much you get paid, it's bad. It's really bad. The minimum wage, I believe it's 7.25 an hour, and then if you're a tipped employee, they can pay you even less than the minimum wage. So I'm a delivery driver for pizza, right? And so when I'm actually on the road delivering, I'm only making $5 an hour. $5 an hour. I mean, that's how wages were like in, I don't know, the early or mid 90s in California. I mean, just like slave labor wages. It's awful. Okay, and like I said, this will come up again in my number five. But yeah, the prices don't coincide with the wages. Moving on. Number three, brake laws. As far as brakes, not in breaking your car, brakes as far as in employment. Again, way behind. They don't give breaks. There's no mandatory breaks. Where, for example, in California, if you work a 5-hour shift, you get a 30-minute break, and you also get a 10-minute break by law. It's forced. They have to give you that break. Or if you, I think if I don't know if you work exactly 5 hours, more than 5 hours. Anyhow, there are mandatory breaks in California. In Utah, you could work 5 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, in which some people do, and they are not required, and they don't. A lot of employers, they don't give you breaks whatsoever. I'm telling you, it's like slave labor conditions in this state. It's awful. I mean, I don't even have to go the rest of the list. It's already. Anyhow, number four. Oh, yeah, number four. Hidden racism. So, like I said, I've only been here a year, and about 6 months into it, I was on a delivery. I was going to the person's house to give him the pizza, and this little dog, maybe 5 pound dog, come yipping at me like mean. Like, I mean, I get a lot of dogs coming up to me because there's a lot of dogs running loose in the state. I didn't even put that on the list, but that's one of the things too. Anyhow, there's this little dog running around, and he was like wanting to attack me, right? And I'm like, okay, I have steel toe boots on. My shoes weigh like 2 pounds a piece. If I kick this dog, he's gonna die. So I don't want to do that, right? So I'm trying to shoo him away, do everything I can. He just keeps coming at me. So I'm like, instead of walking towards the house, I'm kind of like walking backwards toward the house, facing the dog, to just try to watch what he's doing. Anyhow, in my mind, I'm like thinking, where this owner at, right? And next thing you know, this lady comes from across the street, like the neighbor to the person I'm delivering the pizza, And I'm like, you need to get your dog before I kick this dog. Because I'm mad. I'm really mad. Because I'm being attacked. I'm just trying to work. I'm being attacked. And she's like, I don't care. She gets, I don't care if you kick the dog. So apparently she doesn't even care about a dog. Maybe I should have kicked that dog. But so she's like, I don't care. And anyways, we end up getting an argument. I hand the guy his pizza. He's totally, has nothing to do with this. And I hand this guy his pizza. And then me and this lady could just continue arguing, whatever. Then her husband ends up coming out like he's going to do something, but he doesn't. He's a big old coward. That's a whole other thing here. A lot of people, they run their mouth and they don't do a darn thing either. Anyhow, so he comes out, running his mouth. Anyhow, they finally go back to go to their house. I go in my car to leave. And then the last thing she yells at is, why don't you go back to your country? Oh, 38 years in California. 38 years. Because I'm half Mexican. Maybe she could tell that. I don't know. 38 years in California. Not once did anyone ever tell me that. To go back to my country. Nothing along the lines. Not even here a year. Like I said, I don't know, 6 months or so. And someone tells me to go back to my country. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. And after that, I was like, you know what? I don't care about this place. I hate this state. Because I get thinking, how many other, hidden racist people are out there who smile in my face, but secretly are thinking, oh, screw this Mexican guy or this and that or whatever, and he should go back to his country. So after that, I just kind of stopped caring about the state. Anyhow, so that's another big thing. And we're only on number 4. Number 5, high prices. Like I said, we already kind of talked about it, but it's in relation. So the prices are fairly standard. I mean, like say you go to the grocery store here, you buy, your toilet paper towels, and whatever food you buy, relatively the same, maybe slightly cheaper than it would be in California, but relatively the same. But the problem is the price is in relation to the wages. It's not just minimum wage. When the minimum wage is really low, the next person up his wages is low, and so on. And so even, managers, general managers, and I mean all the way up, wages are lower than in California or maybe even Oregon and other states. And so that makes, and again, in relation, the price is really high. The prices are really high in relation to the pay, especially, like I said, when I'm making $5 an hour on the road, $5. So yeah, I'm not going to go into that too much because I already did that. Number 6, rude drivers. First thing I noticed when I came into Utah, people are going like 80, 90, 100 like it's nothing. And if you're not going that fast, even in the slow lane, it's like, in California, it's like there is a slow lane. You want to go slow, go in the slow lane. They don't respect that whatsoever. They'll tailgate you. They'll honk at you. I've seen people like leaning out of their car, yelling at someone before, completely just inconsiderate and rude drivers. Terrible. Number 7, closed on Sunday. That's what I named it, closed on Sunday. So the state is run sort of by religious people, Mormons, or there's a lot of Mormons here, and so a lot of things are closed on Sunday, like a lot of things. Yeah, big things like Walmart, Target are open, McDonald's, but a lot of food shops, and I remember one time when I first got here, I went to go get my oil changed, and it was closed. I was like, okay, I'll look at another place, and it's closed. And I looked, and the whole list on Google of all these auto shops were closed. And I was, what the heck? I forgot. Everything's closed on Sunday, or they're all closed on Sunday. So yeah, so many things closed on Sunday, and it's just annoying because I mean life still goes on. It's just this archaic belief that you shouldn't work on Sunday, and it's like, oh really? Okay, well what about people in hospitals and in prisons and stuff like that? It's like this idea was developed thousands of years ago, and it doesn't work in modern days. Certain things need to stay open. Okay, it's not a big deal, of course, say if McDonald's was closed, but it's just annoying frustration. And I'll get into more why it's frustrating in my number 9. And I'll talk about that. Anyhow, so that was 7. 8, no lotto. I mean, this isn't a huge deal, but I like buying lottery tickets, especially I'm a delivery driver. Sometimes I get extra tips in a given day. And so at the end of the day, in California anyways, I would stop and maybe buy some lotto tickets and take the chance. You never know, you might become a millionaire. But here, there's no chance. It's like, have no hope in this state. And a lot of people are depressed. The suicide rate is really high. It's not just me. You can say, oh, he's just this and that, or whatever. He's from California. Well, you can say what you want. But how come there's all these people killing themselves and stuff like that? It's a very depressed state. It really is. Number 9, run by religion. I told you I was going to come back to it. So, because there's so many religious people here, I mean, the whole street system, the whole grid system is based, it starts from the temple, like in Salt Lake City. Because they have like the streets would be like 100, 200, 300, 400, right? But that all starts, it's like 100 from what? It's like, it would be like 100 south, 200 south, whatever. But from what? It starts at the temple. And one of the main things in our country is separation of church and state. And that's like completely not here in this state. So many things revolve around the church. So many of the church members like own businesses. And so that's why they'll be closed on Sunday. And it's just, the religion is too ingrained in the society, and it's like almost palpable. You could taste it almost. And so that's one of the very bad things about this state, is that you could tell it's a religious state. It really is. It's not a united state. It's like a Mormon state, and that's not how it should be. And number 10, far from ocean. I put, not for nothing, it's further from the ocean than California or Oregon or Washington or New York or Texas even. It doesn't border an ocean, so it's like, I don't know, it would take me like 10 hours if I wanted to drive the ocean, which I don't want to do. And I think that adds to the depressingness, because sometimes, like I said, the air pollution is really bad, or maybe it's a hot day or whatever. In California, that happens. You go to the ocean, be like, hey, we're going to go to the ocean, go to the beach for the day or whatever, and you can't do that here. And that really adds to the overwhelming suckiness of the state. And it is a sucky state.